right. So explaining the types of land in Abuja, we'll start from the bottom and then we'll climb up. Now we have community chiefs, community family lands. These are the lands you buy directly from community, from families, right? Now, most of these kind of lands, you see them in rural areas, right? You see them in rural areas. If you go to Buhari now and you say you want to buy a land from a family or from an individual or from a community, you can get from Buhari, you can get from Kuje, you can get from Gwagwalada. You can get from Gwagwalada, you can get from all these area councils, from villagers, right? You can get from community, right? Like if you go to Buhari now, you see Veritas University. Veritas University was acquired from community because the land is plenty. So you have to buy from, you come to the community, say you want to buy this number of land. It's okay. All the community people that owns those land in that area, they should come aside. They will come, do you want to say yes? Do you want to say yes? All of them will come and then they will sell to you, go and do your documentation. Those are community lands. Those are family lands. Those are chiefs, the lands you buy from chiefs. In Abuja right now, it is quite dicey to buy land from community or from chiefs because of the regularization, the scam, all of these back and forth with the government. So that is why people are now prone to, is it FCDA, is it this one, is it that one, right? So, but you can still buy from them if you know how to go about it the right way, right? There's nothing wrong with buying land from villagers or chiefs. But if you are going for such lands, ensure that you know the right process to follow. Someone like me, I can buy land from anybody, right? Even from a native doctor. I can buy land. So we know what to do, right? We know the right questions to ask, right? We know the right amount to pay. So you don't go and buy a community land that will not be as expensive as maybe FCDA or area council. Do you understand? So because their prices are different because of the titles that they carry, because of the weight that they carry. So their prices are what? Are different. So you have the chief, those are the local land, they are the least kind of land. You have the local government or area council RFO, allocation RFO. Now, you know, when we started initially, I mentioned that we have the federal government, the state government, and the local government. Now, the local government also allocate lands, right? They allocate lands. So the local government will look at the local government and say, okay, let's allocate these portions of lands for residential, commercial, industrial, and so on and so forth. So those people that the lands were allocated to will now sell. Sometimes they are allocated to maybe developers like us. You can go to local government and say, you need land for so purpose, for residential purpose. They will allocate land for you for residential purpose because the government is trying to encourage people to what? To develop more houses so that people will have where to live. So you can apply to government and say, local government or state government, and say you need land for what? For commercial purpose. They will allocate to you, and then you can build houses and sell at affordable prices. But that's not the case now in Nigeria or in Abuja. Most of all this land are allocated to people. When they collect it, they go and sell it in billions, in millions. And real estate developers will buy and also sell in millions and in billions. The real actual sense is that you go to government, you apply to collect land, and then use it to develop houses and sell at affordable prices so people can afford. Do you understand? Those ones are what? Local government allocated land. So what they do now is that they will just write names randomly, allegedly, because this is recorded. Do you understand? They will not write random names and then allocate lands to themselves and sell. Do you understand? So people buy and then some people resell, some people use for their own personal use. They are called area council allocated R of O, rights of occupancy, right? And there are also area council allocated C of O, right? Certificate of occupancy, right? So then you have the area council regularized R of O, right? And C of O, they are the same, similar. Now, when you buy a land that is local government allocated, right? You can go to the state level, right? And regularize that land into what? The state level. I don't know if you're understanding my point. You know, you got it from local level. You can regularize it to what? State level. Just like the way you go for you can go and do your ND and go and do what? Your HND. You can do your HND and go and do your postgraduate what? Diploma or postgraduate whatever they do to go and now do what? Masters. Are you getting my point? Yes. This is how area council paper looks like. This is how area council allocated papers always look like. Conveyance of what? Provisional approval. I mentioned conveyance as a title that time, Abi. This is conveyance. This is an allocation paper. This is how it looks like. Buhari area what? Council. Abuja, Nigeria. Land, planning and survey what? Department. This is what? Conveyance of provisional approval. I am pleased to convey that Honorable Minister approve what? Customary right of what? Occupancy. This is what? C of what? O. Customary. Area council. This is not a C of O title. This is a conveyance of application for what? C of O. When you have this, you will not go and apply for what? C of O or R of O. So, when you have your area council allocation, you can now go and reintegrate it into FCD what? A. Federal Capital Administration Authority, what do they call it? You have to go and implement, you have to go and regularize it. So that's why some land, they will tell you that this one is area council, but it's regularized to what? FCDA. So when you go to FCDA, you are going to see the document on what? On AG's platform. But if that land is not regularized, when you go to FCDA, where you go and see the land, where you go and verify the land, is the local government area of that place in FCDA. You know, when you go to FCDA, all the local area council has office. There is Buhari, there is Kuje, there is Gogolada, there is Abaji, there is other Amak. They are all inside where? FCDA. Yes. So if you want to go and verify our land now, whether it's legit, the one in Buhari, whether it's legit or not, when you go to FCDA, you don't go to AGs. You go to Buhari Area Council. In where? In FCDA. Are you getting my point? So when you go to that place, you will now see the land and the details on Buhari Area Council platform. You will not see it on ages because it has not been regularized.
Okay.
Are you getting my point? Our land in Buhari has not been regularized. So if you go to ages, you will not see it. So not because if you go to ages, you will not say the land is not legit. No. If you want to confirm the authenticity, you go to the area council. Either Buhari area council in Buhari or Buhari area council in FCDA. Do you understand? So if you want to verify a land that is Gwagwalada area council, whether it's legit or not, you go to where? Gwagwalada area council in Gwagwalada, or you go to Gwagwalada area council in FCDA. You don't go close to ages until the land is regularized. So that is why you hear regularized C of O, regularized what? R of O. So if I regularize this one now, it becomes what? Regularized C of O, because it's statutory conveyance of customary C of O. Do you understand? So that is how you know all these lands and their titles and types of lands. So that when you are buying them, you ask them questions. And then when somebody is buying from you, you can also explain to them and say, this is why this one is more expensive than this one, even though they are in the same location. Yesterday, somebody sent me a video of a house they want to sell in FO1. The house is very big, 4 units of, I think, 3-bedroom terrace, or 2-bedroom terrace. Very cheap, for 150 million. What I asked him is, I said, what is the title? He now said, see it here, he now said what? Area council. So if this house was to be FCDA, it will be more expensive. So you that want to sell, you need to know what is the title of the land. So that when you are selling, you can comfortably say, this is the title of the land. So that they will know that, okay, you understand what you are selling. Not that you go and put out adverts. They now call you, what is the title? I don't know, let me call. You need to know. And whenever we have a property, you need to know the title. So when you are talking to clients and customers, you need to know what to tell them. So these are the different types, have different prices. Of course, the local is the cheapest. Then regularized C of O and R of O are the same prices. They are always the same prices. Then allocated is cheaper than regularized. Now, that paper I just showed you, I want to regularize that land. The barrister is telling me that the total cost is 600,000. It is area council what? Allocated land. But I want to regularize it into what? FCDA C of O, or regularized. It's not costing me extra 600,000. If I want to sell it, will I sell it cheaper? No, so their prices are not always the same. So moving forward, you now go to FCDA R of O with building approval. Right? Allocated. So these ones are the heavyweight, they are the heavier weight land types in Abuja. Right? Anything that has FCDA, is quite heavier. Right? Whether FCDA C of O, R of O, letter of intent, building approval, they are always heavier. Now, these ones are land types that are coming directly from the state government. The same way the local government are allocating lands in rural areas, that is how the state government is allocating land in where? In urban areas. And these ones are always quite expensive. So the differences that we have here is building approval, R of O, C of O. Now, in this aspect, C of O are always more expensive than R of O. R of O is the first allocation you get, right? And then C of O is the one that you apply for and you get it, right? C of O is more heavier than R of O. Right of occupancy, certificate of occupancy. You can live here for 99 years. You have certificate of occupancy for 99 years. You know, every land, every title comes with 99 years tenancy Great. After 99 days, you go and renew it. Right? So the FCDA R of O with building approval allocated is that one that comes directly from the Minister of FCT. Right? You go and apply to the Minister of FCT that you need land for max housing. They will allocate it in your name. It comes with Amucha properties directly from the FCT minister. That's the one they call FCDA. And then sometimes some of them come out automatically with the building approval. Sometimes you have to, after you've gotten the R of O, then you go and apply for building approval. Right? So the one that has building approval is more expensive than the one that doesn't have building approval. Right? Because building approval is also a very important document. If you have an estate and you go and start developing without building approval, the FCT minister has right to demolish the land. So you see that land is very delicate. You can have a land that is given to you by the FCT minister. You now go and start building without building approval. He has the right to demolish and collect the land. So that is why you hear FCT approved, FCDA approved with building approval. So when somebody tells you that when you are selling a land that has FCDA approved building approval and FCDA R of O or C of O, the price is not always the same with, because that building approval is paid for. It takes time. So the prices are not different. So you can tell a client that this place, oh, they are applying for building approval and it's quite cheaper now. Buy now. Once the building approval is out. I have a land in Airport Road. I bought it when they don't have anything. Now there's building approval. They've built more than 50 houses in that estate now. That is why I bought it 2.5 million naira 5 years ago. We are coming to buy it now for 30 million naira. Do you understand? The higher the risk, the higher the profit. The lower the risk, the lower the profit. Do you understand? So C of O lands are always more expensive than R of O. Because C of O is paid for, heavily paid for. You must pay ground rent before you apply for C of O. And that ground rent, sometimes depending on the location, it falls into millions. It runs into millions. It runs into thousands. So when you pay it, you don't expect the person to, and it's the highest title of land in Nigeria, C of O. So you don't expect the person to come and charge you. That's why they tell you, this one is C of O, now this price. Oh. The same place, this one is C of O, this one is R of O, different price. So you need to know these different types of land to enable you, arm yourself. If you go to that, the link I said I will send that nobody reminded me to send, for you to go and watch videos and also learn. If you watch some of all these online trainings, now, why I'm first-hand training you and giving you this first-hand information is because sometimes when you go on YouTube or online to get this information, it looks confusing. But when you are being taught, I know the first thing to teach you so that the second thing will not confuse you. And I know how to teach it to you so that you understand it well. But you might go online and watch the video and you become confused. But when you learn now and you go online, you can now be able to go say, okay, I want to learn more about this. You now have a background knowledge, a background information that will enable you to be able. That's why you see some people, they go online to learn things and they become more confused than they were. That's why some people say, I prefer one-on-one, face-to-face. I don't want online because it sounds confusing. But we that have done advanced trainings, we've learned, we have ideas. It's easy for me to learn things online. And that's why it's difficult for me to always go and be doing physical trainings. I can buy a course online, I can watch videos online, and I will learn and know it better than somebody that went to go and attend Harvard. Because I have the foreknowledge. So that is why I am taking my time to explain these things to you face to face. So whenever you are going online to carry out your own researches, it helps to give you a background knowledge. So any area you are further confused, you can ask questions. You can come to me and say, okay, while I was going online, I saw this. There are a lot of other things that I didn't touch, which I am going to get them in a more organized way